Designing STEM, STEAM, interdisciplinary units can be a real challenge. This TikTok will take a quick look at how I get started planning a STEM unit for first grade with my first grade team. We usually begin planning about 2 weeks out from when we want to start our unit. Everyone comes to the planning table with their pacing guides and standards for the year. It is rare that every subject area's standards that are appropriate for the unit will align with the pacing. So many STEM, STEAM schools understand that and allow for a little flexibility in pacing. Please check with your local administration before altering your pacing. First, we look for commonalities between social studies and science. I'm not forgetting math and ELA, but these are easier to fit in as their standards apply across broad areas of study and life. We create a chart with a simple description for each standard side by side and look for connections. If you want, you can expand this chart to all 4 subject areas. As you can see, this team found 3 connections. The first was between looking at what life was like for our historical figures back then to weather instruments, and seasonal changes. How did they know what the weather would be like back in Benjamin Franklin's time? How did they prepare for different types of weather during different seasons? How is it different from what we do now? How is it the same? The problem or challenge is to design a way for the historical figure the team chooses to measure different aspects of the weather during different times of the year so they can plan better for whatever the significant thing is that the figure did. For example, if it has been raining, Thomas Jefferson might need to be sure to protect the Declaration of Independence as he carried it to and from sessions with the Continental Congress. Or Lewis and Clark and Sacagawea might need to keep track of the weather during their travels so that they can journal the different climate regions. The next connection was from Lewis and Clark and Sacagawea, or Theodore Roosevelt in our national parks, to light and sound. How could the Discovery Corps team get help if an emergency occurred on the trail? How could park visitors let rangers know if there is an emergency on the trail? The solutions kids come up with will probably not be terribly practical to take on a hiking trip, and Lewis and Clark were often very far from any other people. Our final connection was from George Washington Carver to plant and animal needs. Can we design a way for his plants to get all of their needs met while he is gone? ELA fits in with any of these because you can teach whatever reading and writing skills the pacing guide calls for using texts and sources that have to do with our social studies and science standards. Students can journal their thoughts on their progress through the challenge. They can write opinions on why their design is useful. They can write poems about their historical figures or read informational booklets or picture books on their figures or the science concepts, and so forth. Math can easily be included by adding a budget to their designs. They may need to count the number of each material and give you a total before they can purchase them, or you can give them tokens that they must count and use to buy materials. Give them a set amount, 20 game counters, pennies, whatever is handy, and have them track how much they have, how much they are spending, and how much is left. This allows for adding, subtracting, recognizing numbers, and more. This was just a quick, broad look at how to get started. Thanks for watching.